What's up, book babes? Get comfy, get cozy. It's time to chill. I'm Cassie.
And I'm Emily, and this is Book Bits and Chill, the podcast where we break down every chapter, thirst over fictional men, and never take ourselves too seriously.
Today, we are getting into a fun little game.
Woo!
Now that we've finished Great Big Beautiful Life, we will be talking later in the episode about the next book that we're covering. But we decided that we wanted to have some fun. It's summer. We need things to do. We're bored. We need hobbies that aren't gardening. So today, we're announcing Book Bits Bingo.
Woo!
So basically, this will be a little mini series that we'll have going on throughout the summer, basically until either of us gets hopefully 5 in a row, where we'll try to fill out our chaotic 2025 bingo card one square at a time. Emily, can you tell us what the rules are? Because I have already forgotten.
I need to make these very clear for myself and for our listeners because I'm not a good rule follower. I forget them along the way. First rule, and this seems obvious, but I know you'll forget, this is only books you read in 2025. So you're only picking books that you read this year. Don't try to sneak into December 2024.
Shit.
That's not allowed.
Okay. All right. I'm already struggling.
This is specifically tough for those of us that doesn't keep a Goodreads because I really have to rack my brain. I thought I didn't read a lot of books in 2025, but I forgot that I went on the Zodiac Academy spiral.
Oh, I also forgot about that.
So I actually have quite a few books to choose from. Next rule. We are going to pick out at the end of each episode, this time at the beginning, because it's our inaugural episode, one square type. And if you are able to assign one book of your 2025 reads to that square, you get to cross it off.
Okay.
You know the rules of bingo. You're trying to get a horizontal, vertical, or a diagonal. Another hot topic. You cannot use the same book twice.
What? Oh, no.
So, yes, ma'am. So, one of the squares is like Fave 2025 read. We might not pick Fave 2025 read until December, but we might pick it tomorrow. So, you need to make sure you're saving your books appropriately.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Any questions, audience?
My hand is raised.
Yes.
For the favorite book of 2025, what if we did like the favorite book of 2025 so far and it's like a wild card square? Is that allowed?
What do you mean?
Let's say I have a favorite book of 2025 so far that I want to throw in there, but then it comes to like October and I read an absolute banger.
No.
And,
Did you not listen to anything I said?
Okay.
I said,
okay, you're
I
right.
said, listen closely.
Okay, it turns out that I'm actually the bad rule follower. Okay, whatever. Continue.
So if you have to save these books appropriately. For example, earlier this year, I read a Kristen Hanna book, which could fall into so many of these squares. But what if that was also my favorite book of 2025 and I might need to save it?
Wow. Okay, I feel like we're in a game of Battleship right now. The strategy is just mounting.
I'm competitive.
That's right.
So we're going to put up a little bingo chart on our Instagram at BookBits Club that you can follow along with and cross off your picks every time. But we're also going to look to you to kind of let us know what your reactions are, what your thoughts are, what your pick is, and we're going to read it along in these episodes.
I love it. One more question. What if we pick...
Wow, she's full of questions today.
What if you pick a square and you don't have a book for it yet? Can you just leave it empty? You just leave it empty?
Have you ever played bingo?
I have, but you know what? If I'm asking questions, maybe some of our listeners are asking questions. Maybe one of our 10 listeners is asking questions.
Okay, this is fair. Maybe some of you haven't taken your grandmothers to their retirement home bingo nights.
That's right.
It's clear. So if you say you pick a book, this one applies to me. There's a square in there that says a reread. I historically do not reread. And so if I pick reread, I might not get to cross that off, and Cassie could beat me to the 5 across, vertical, horizontal, diagonal.
Let me be clear, I'm beating her to the horizontal across diagonal. What squares do we have for people to pick from?
Okay, Cass,
What are some
I think...
examples? Should I
you
give
want
them?
some examples?
Yeah, I feel like we should build up some hype here.
No. I don't want to give them any examples more than I've already given.
They're going to be downloading this board after this episode.
I forgot about that.
All of the squares. Do you know how to play bingo?
I forgot you guys were going to see the board. Okay, can I explain what my worry was? I was worried that you guys were going to see the board and like immediately read all of the books you need to fill the boxes.
We have that much influence over your reading. We're that directly in control over your TBR.
So I guess we can tell them.
Oh,
we can tell them. So.
Okay, so here's a little flavor of what your might look like because you're going to be able to see it. Okay, so you have a book that you read in one sitting. You have the audiobook changed everything book. Maybe it was a book that you were struggling to get into until you put your earbuds in your ears and you were like, holy shit. We have books and we're looking at all of you that you read just for the smut because we know what happens when we're all ovulating. We have the side character who stole the show.
That one, I know what you're all going to pick for that one already.
I think I know too, but I also think that the book that we're going to reveal at the end is giving people a run for their money from what I've seen on the internet.
Stay tuned till the end.
Stay tuned. Just keep listening. Okay, a book that made you cry, a book that Book Talk made you read and it was pleasantly good, a book that you immediately needed the sequel, and then maybe a book that made you want to kiss the villain instead of the male main character.
Zodiac Academy Girls Unite.
Oh, okay. I love it. All right, so should we pick our first squares? What do you think?
Should we make one more rule specific to my Zodiac Academy girls?
No. No.
Like, does Zodiac Academy count as one book? Because there's also like 17. There's 17 books. You can fill out the entire.
That doesn't matter.
You could fill out the entire bingo board with all your Zodiac Academy books.
Then you have to choose. You have to choose one book wisely. I think we can only pick one book out of a series.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So only one book.
Okay. Girls, you hear that? I'm sorry. I'm sorry you spent an entire month reading 12 novels from Zodiac Academy. You can only use it once.
Sucks to suck. Okay, let's pick some squares. All right, Emily
let's do it.
And I have our hats out where we have our little bingo squares written inside of them, and we're gonna pick them at random. As much as I wish that we went and invested in a bingo hamster wheel, we did that. So we'll see if this gets any traction and if you guys sponsor us, and we'll get a bingo wheel. Okay, are you ready? Am I picking first?
Yeah, Cassie's picks first.
Okay. Can you give me a drum roll, maybe?
No, not without spilling my water all over my bed I'm sitting in.
Okay, fine. All right. Mine is the FMC you would want to be best friends with.
Wow.
Okay. Actually, this one is really hard.
Wait, if I immediately know mine, should I jump in or you get to answer first because it was your square?
I don't know. I'm struggling because you're going to influence my answer because if you have one and I read that book, then I will also want to be best friends with them.
Because I'm so influential.
Yes. You're an influencer in my life, turns out.
If you're not watching and you're listening to this, I'm wearing one of those influencer makeup headbands and armrests so you don't get wet.
That's
Cozy
true.
vibes.
That's true.
Because influential.
And I am back in my beret. I don't know who's going out and buying a beret, but if you do, shout me out. Okay,
Or if
What?
you put your pets in a beret, also send us pictures.
We might have gotten some today. Okay, I'm gonna go first because your answer is 100% gonna change my answer.
Okay, I already know my answer.
Wait, actually, have I read the book that you're answering from?
Yes.
Okay, then I need to answer first. I don't have a book for this square. I don't have a book for this square. Okay. I'm racking my brain and I don't have one. And here's the thing. I have read some very good ones this year with some very solid FMCs. But
I'm nauseous. I'm sick.
The only one that I might want to be friends with is Violet from Onyx Storm because she was such a badass in this book. But I want to save that for another square.
Holy shit.
I know. I'm thinking about all the female main characters that I've read, and it's like Ren from Silver Elite, and I can't even remember the FMC from Diamond, so that obviously doesn't count. Alice from Great Big Beautiful Life. Who am I forgetting? Poppy from People We Meet on Vacation.
Yes.
What's her name from fucking Funny Story?
I don't know. I haven't read that one yet.
It's like an old lady name. She was cool. Oh, Daphne. She was cool. I read Intermezzo by Sally Rooney, but there's no FMC in that one. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just like thinking of all the books that I've read, and there's just none that are standing out to me. And I know actually based off of this reaction who you're gonna say. And
yeah, I am sick to my stomach.
I'm ready to defend myself. So go on. Let's go into bingo court.
Welcome to bingo court. Welcome to bingo court. We're about to be in session because I'm sick to my stomach. I can't believe Cassie's done to this on round one. Book Bits Bingo round one. Cassie screwed her board. Holy shit. I was not expecting that. I actually feel nauseous.
I'm sorry. I'm literally trying to be so strategic. Maybe I'm screwing myself. I don't know.
Yes,
Tell me in the comments.
Being strategic. Okay, welcome to Emily Henry 2025. We've all read all of her books this year because for some reason they're popping back up. And there's not really anything good to use these books for except for this bingo card. And that is why my answer is Poppy from People We Meet on Vacation.
You would not be best friends with Poppy, and you know that for a fact. Best friends.
Silence.
Okay.
Silence for 10 seconds in court. This is my argument.
Fine. Opening arguments. Commence, please.
The girl works for a travel magazine where she gets free 5-star luxury vacations. And who does she take on those vacations? Her best friend. If this is not, maybe she's not my maid of honor, but you know what? She is going to be my travel partner because I want to go on those vacations. Holy shit. How is that not your answer?
Are your arguments done?
Argument closed.
Okay, here's my defense. First of all, the best friend that she's taking on these vacations, she is fucking. So there you go. Second, she is working as a travel influencer and working for a travel magazine. You would be able to not go on any of these vacations with her. And you would get sick of her in 2 seconds because you're only taking like 2 vacations a year. So how much is that really paying off the rest of the year if you have to hang out with her and you don't even like her that much?
Listen, I'm competitive. I could be friends with anybody to win this bingo game right now.
Okay. I think I'm calling for a revoking of this pick.
Nope.
I am calling for an absolute removal of this pick. I cannot believe that you are saying that you would be best friends with this girl.
Yep.
I need our audience to come to the front because literally not one of our best friends is anything like Poppy Wright. 0%. 0% of that.
Maybe I'm sick of all of you.
And did Emily text me when we were reading this book together that she was annoyed of Poppy like half the time?
Okay, but that's because we only saw her lusting after her male friend. Like,
okay.
I'm sorry. She was in Croatia, in Alaska. She was on the Amalfi Coast at some point.
You know what? Everyone listening, be
vacation.
warned, because Emily's going to use you for your travel perks if she can. You might think you're best friends, but really she's just trying to go on a 10-day cruise with you on your dime.
We're just solving Book Fits Club right now because I'm becoming a travel influencer. With Poppy, my best friend.
Yeah, whatever. You're not taking Poppy. And we know
That's what I'm saying.
If the shoe was on the other foot, you're not taking Poppy anywhere with you. And we know that. Okay.
Hey,
let's be honest.
There's a trope in life where, like, you may be somebody's best friend, but they're not your best friend. And that's not what the square says.
That's literally not what the square says. It is a trope, but it's not the square.
So I'm going to go ahead and cross off that square.
I can't believe you right now. I'm in shock. I need anyone who's listening to this to absolutely come after this woman, okay? Do not pull these shiesty moves like she's pulling. Play a clean game. That's my call to all of you. Play a clean bingo game.
And some of us are clean and some of us are murky. And I never agreed to be clean.
Oh my God, this is ridiculous. All right, well, now that you're recommending this book that you would be best friends with the female main character, if our friends who are listening our best friends who are listening have not read this book, who would you recommend it to, or who should read it?
These are for the girls that like to watch Sex in the City, that like to have a little, like, you know, fantasy that's reality. Like, you could actually do the things that are happening in these books, but they're also kind of fantasy because you could never afford them. Or like Cassie has so nicely put, I don't have the PTO for. You're kind of like fantasizing that you get to go on all of these trips throughout this book, and it's very wanderlust. So if you like a little wanderlust, a little like magazine writer, Andy from How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, very poppy, very poppy.
Interesting. Okay. People we meet on vacation. What did you give it in terms of a rating?
I think I gave it 4 stars.
I think I did too. I'm trying to remember.
She gave it 4 stars, but she doesn't want to go on a vacation.
3 stars. I'm going to check after. Okay. And then a quick 30 second summary on what it's about for anyone who hasn't read it.
Okay, clearly the girl writes for a travel magazine, and she gets to go on all these trips to make sure she knows about the place. And every year she takes her male best friend from her hometown in little like Ohio, and they get to see the world together, and they always make memories. As the time goes on, she realizes maybe I'm a little more interested in him than just friends. But he seems to not be ready to cross that line. And then they go on one sweaty, fateful trip to Palm Springs, California.
It is so
and everything
sweaty.
changes. Is it for the good? Is it for the bad? You'll have to read.
That was actually really good. You catch that.
Thank you.
Emily Henry, tune in.
Yeah, Emily Henry, get me on your podcast.
She has a podcast now too.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
True. Okay, Emily, you're picking out. What do you got?
The card is was not worth the hype. Sorry.
Whoa.
I think our answer for this is going to be the same.
Is it? Okay, I already know what mine is.
I need to say something about this.
Okay. Are you going to make up a new rule?
Sort of.
Emily is drunk with power. She is drunk in her game master power.
This is my dream come true.
We're all afraid.
I love game shows. Like, I love Wheel of Fortune, and this is like, I feel like my moment of getting to be the host of Wheel of Fortune.
It really is. It's
Okay.
scary.
So when I first read this, in my head was not worth the hype. I was like, oh, just a bad book I've read this year. But it's not just a bad book you've read this year, because it has to be one that was said to be so popular, but then you didn't agree.
Yeah, like the internet, like book talk was like, I ate this up, 5-star read, whatever. And then you read it and you're like, this was not good at all.
This was not good.
This was garbaggio. Yeah. Okay.
So what do you want to go first so I don't influence you, because I have such an influential poll?
No, you go first. Kick us off. I guarantee it's going to be the same.
Yeah, my book is Metal Slinger.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
It was so bad. I struggled with that book. Okay, so when I first started reading it, I was like freaking out to Cassie, because if you've watched our Q&A video, I love Pirates of the Caribbean. And so I was reading it and I was like, holy shit, they're on a boat. This is the floating island. Oh my God, I'm about to get my like Pirates of the Caribbean fanfic. And I was like eating it up at first. And then the story started going on and I could not stay awake during it until like the last one chapter of the book.
So for those listening who have not read this book, quick summary is basically there is this population of people that lives on effectively like just a massive island. And that's how it was in my brain, at least. They live on this island and they only have a chance like once every, I think it's like 4 years or something like that, to come back on land to go to this market. And so this new like training class, these like military recruits, of course, end up on this boat and they go to land and they go to this market. And our female main character is a little wily, and so she gets a little crazy in the market, basically causes such a disruption that they like get fucked. There's this whole treaty involved, whatever. They go back and and this is where Emily's having a great time. She's like, oh yeah, we're staying on this island. We don't stay on this island.
This is the first 2 chapters. We don't
stay on the island. And so basically we go through all of these trials and tribulations on the island. Our female main character is dating / betrothed to the prince that's about to inherit this kingdom. And come to find out there's a lot of secrets going on. So anyways, our female main character and another man who we will not spoil here in case anyone actually wants to read this not great book, end up traveling across the ocean to go to this different kingdom, and throughout their travels end up falling in love, whatever, discovering powers.
Okay, don't say they fell in love. You literally just spoiled the book.
No one knows who it is. And honestly, you don't want to know. They get to land, they discover powers that this girl didn't know that she had, and she discovers that she's actually this long lost princess of this kingdom that she had heard about.
Cassie, you're telling the whole book. What
I
if these people want to
honestly
read it?
just decided that I was just gonna spoil the whole thing. If you're still listening, sorry. Anyways, we discover a lot of secrets about our female main character, and we end the book on a massive cliffhanger that quite literally made 0 sense. Like, actually was just thrown in at the end for funsies to make people read the second book, which honestly, I'm probably going to read the second book because of it. But nevertheless, shit, not good.
Was this book traditionally published?
No. I don't think so.
That,
actually, I'll have to fact check that. Let's see.
I'm sorry, whoever wrote this book, I can't remember your name, but if you wrote Metal Slinger, if you want Cassie to be a beta reader, she's very good at editing, and she can help you with the middle part, because I loved the first 2 chapters and I loved the last 2 chapters, but I was lost between chapter 3 and 45.
Literally the entire book. Okay, it was originally independently published. Rachel Schneider is the author, and she self-published the book. book. So, first of all, a lot of respect for that because,
So much respect, Rachel.
I think we've learned through getting into this community that when you are an indie author, there's a lot of support that you don't have and whatever. So, you know what? She put a book out there that people fucking love, and that's awesome. We just struggled with it.
And it had so much hope at the beginning.
It
Like,
did.
Cassie, remember when I was also reading and I was like, okay, if this isn't Pirates of the Caribbean fanfic, this is Avatar Ways of Water fanfic. And I also love Avatar Ways of Water. And I was like, I am living for this world that is literally James Cameron-esque.
Correct. Yeah.
I am just really disappointed it didn't keep going.
And you know what else was hard was that I actually really liked the characters. Like, I did really like the female main character. I liked the guy who became the MMC, who we thought wasn't going to be the MMC. And I actually really loved how it ended. Like, I thought that was a great ending, and it was a massive cliffhanger, but the middle just didn't make any fucking sense. And it literally took so long to get to basically the punchline. And I don't know. It just really disappointed me for how much hype it had. I will also say that, like, I think if it wasn't so overly hyped and it was appropriately hyped, then I probably would have liked it more, realistically.
So are you basically admitting right now that that's your square as well?
Yes, 100%.
I couldn't tell by you literally spoiling the entire book to our massive audience.
I realized that I just had to talk about it still. I don't know. The book was picked up by a big publisher, I'm pretty sure. So the second book I'm actually very intrigued by, because maybe she just tried to spend this whole book like building up the world, building up the relationships, whatever, and then we're really gonna see this other side in the second book. That's my hope. That's what I'm manifesting.
So, I know that I gave a lot of like, if you like this movie, you would like this book. But also, if any of you ever read Cruel Prince, I can't remember what it's actually called. Oh, the Kindred Folk or Heir of the Folk trilogy, the Cruel Prince trilogy. Very similar vibes. I think you would like this book if you liked that book. Cassie, do you have any recommendations?
I would say if you are a romantasy reader that's just purely reading for the vibes and you're not trying to really, you know, be addicted to a series, whatever. Like, it's a very easy, like, one book read. Like, I think I read it in a few days and it was very straightforward. So
yeah,
if you love romantasy, you're just kind of looking for maybe even a palate cleanser. Like, if you just finished a series or something like that, I feel like this would be a book that you could read and be fine.
To be honest, the way you just sold that, I would never pick up this book.
Emily does not fall into that category. That is actually so surprising because I do feel like you generally like to read for the vibes. Like, you're like,
yeah,
I don't need this to be a literary masterpiece. Like,
never. I don't even know if you're ending any sentences. The whole book could be a run-on sentence that I wouldn't know. But you have to keep the vibes going.
True. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I honestly, after you said that, I don't know who I would recommend this to.
Okay, so this portion, after we would give our 2 picks to cross off on our bingo board, we would read some audience answers and audience interactions. But again, it's the inaugural episode, so we don't have those yet. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pick our next 2 squares for our next bingo video.
Okay.
And we're going to read them aloud to you, correct?
Yeah, here we go.
And then you'll have we'll put up a poll on our Instagram at BookBits Club stories, and you can let us know your interactions or what your submissions would be. So let's get picking.
Here we go. Okay.
Here goes Cassie's pick.
Okay. Why did you just go SpongeBob instead of Jump? That was Doodle Bob.
What's your pick?
I don't know. I'm so distressed. Okay. Let's see. Oh, shit. Side characters who stole the show.
Oh, and I know what you're all going to pick for this
Oh,
one.
God. We're going to get so many fucking Riddicks.
But don't remember anything Cassie says.
Don't
I was gonna
remember.
say, don't.
Wipe your
Don't
memory.
Imogen.
Imogen.
I can't stop laughing. Don't forget that Cassie said earlier that our book we're going to cover this month before another bingo round, you might want to pick the side character.
Which we're about to get into the book, so maybe it'll make you want to read it along with us.
Well, let me get my pick. I have a
Okay.
hat here from Mike's Ice Cream in Hood River, Oregon. Shout out, shout out. Let's see what kind of magic he makes happen. Let's
Mine's
go,
from
Mike.
the Catskills. We both have travel hats.
Because we would be friends with Poppy.
Oh, no. No.
Exactly.
All
Okay,
right.
here we go. Here we go. Okay, here's the pick. I'm gonna read it.
Okay.
Holy shit! I picked side character that stole the show.
No, you're kidding. Show it to
No,
the camera.
I did. Side character that stole the show.
That is crazy. Okay, so if this happens, you have to repick, right? Okay. I wasn't sure if we just did one
I'm
square.
gonna repick.
Okay.
We actually forgot to make a rule about that.
Shit.
Yeah.
Rules on the
We
fly.
just made it.
What do
Okay,
you know?
ready?
Okay.
Here we go.
All right.
Biggest surprise of the year.
Oh my God. I'm
That
not
one
ready.
is hard.
I'm not ready.
No,
for
that one's hard.
Damn it. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I don't
okay.
think we're far enough in 2025 yet. I'm not ready for that one.
I mean, wait, we don't have any rules around like passes or redraws.
Hell no. You're not passing or redrawing. What game is this? What is this?
Clearly neither of us know.
So biggest surprise of the year and side character who stole the show.
Okay, that's gonna be a really good episode. I'm excited.
Okay. So we've officially checked off female character you want to be BFFs with and was not worth the hype.
Yep.
So check it off on your bingo board.
Yep.
Again, we're gonna share it on our Instagram stories so you can download and share it to your Instagram stories, and we cannot wait to catch you next time to see what you have to say.
Let us know who you picked. We're very, very intrigued. And also, I want to know how many people picked Battleslinger as their square.
Yeah.
All right. Should we reveal our next book that we're doing for a read?
Yeah.
Okay. Drum. We're not doing another drum roll.
We can't.
We can't.
We're out of sounds.
We're out.
So
no more SpongeBob sounds.
Starting next week, we're going to start covering a new book with a new video structure. We're going to still do our traditional summaries, but we're also going to add some fun and games into it because we've realized you guys love a game.
You guys, us. We love a game, clearly. And that new book is The Night and the Moth by... What did you just say? By Rachel Gillig.
I'm mouthing the words you're saying.
Okay, so we chose this book very strategically. And by very strategically, I mean it's a very popular new release. And I went to Rachel Gillig's book tour a couple of weeks ago. So that was basically the science. We actually put this versus Shield of Sparrows up on our stories for our audience to pick between, and there was like a 5-vote difference between this and Shield of Sparrows, but we saw that a bunch of our other favorite podcasts were covering Shield of Sparrows, so we were like, let's go in Night in the Moth. Like this could be a fun one.
Let's give them their fandom back and let's do Night in the Moth.
That's right.
And Rachel, from Cassie's experience with Rachel Gillig, she is also like as unhinged as we are.
Yes.
Rachel, if you want to come on, let us know.
Yep.
We could have some fun and games. Cass, which version do you have?
I'm so afraid of us. I have the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, and it's signed by Rachel.
Mine's not signed.
Loser. God.
Loser, you're already losing the game. You didn't even pick a square.
All right. Okay. So should we tell them what the book is about? I can read off the synopsis.
Go for it.
Okay. Okay, ready? Sybil Delling has spent 9 years dreaming of having no dreams of all at all. Like the other foundling girls who traded a decade of service for a home in the great cathedral, Sybil is a diviner. In her dreams, she receives visions from 6 unearthly figures known as the omens. From them, she can predict terrible things before they occur, and lords and common folk alike travel across the Stonewater Kingdom's windswept moors and craggy mountains to learn their futures by her dreams. Just as she and her sister diviners near the end of their service, a mysterious knight arrives at the cathedral. Rude,
Oh,
heretical, and devilishly handsome, the knight Roderick has
always.
no respect for Sybil's visions. But when Sybil's fellow diviners begin to vanish one by one, she has no choice but to seek his help in finding them. For the world outside the cathedral's cloister is wrought with peril. Only the gods have the answers she is seeking, and as much as she'd rather avoid Roderick's dark eyes and sharp tongue, only a heretic can defeat a god.
Are the omens going to be good or
I don't
bad?
know. I don't know.
Are the diviners, where are they going?
I don't know.
I have so many
I don't
questions.
know, but I think
D-
this book is going to have like some wild symbolism that I'm very interested in. This book has 4.5 stars on Goodreads and has over
wow.
18,000 ratings. It's also the first in a duology. She confirmed that it's going to be a 2-book series. So we'll be covering this obviously now and then her second book when it comes out. But yeah, we're really excited. Like Emily said, Rachel is a personality. She literally was making me laugh from start to finish of her book tour. So, and she said she loves absurdism. So I think
Ooh,
she really matches our vibe, like you said. So I'm
love
excited to
it.
get into this one.
And there's a lot of exclamation marks on the back, which I really appreciate.
Mm.
Gargoyles, gods, girls in armor.
Let's go.
Let's go, Rachel. We're pumped.
Oh,
Join us. Join us back next week
yeah.
for our first installment of Night in the Moth.
All right. And if you want to follow along with us, read along with us, we will link the book in the show notes. And, wherever you read it, if you want to get a physical copy or the Kindle copy, we'll have both. And otherwise, we'll see you same time, same place next Sunday. Bring your blanket, bring your boyfriends, and we'll see you then.
See ya.